All right. Chill out. Chill out. I'm back. Okay. Now, at the end of every tier, my guild, we have a meeting. Okay. And in that meeting, we talk about what everybody needs to do, both mentally, emotionally, physically, metaphorically, get prepared, what they got to do to get prepared for the upcoming tier. All right. So this meeting's coming up for my guild. I figured if there was information I needed to divulge to them that was general about MoP, hey, I might as well do a video on it as well. Hopefully you agree. There is a lot about, stuff that people don't really think about. They know MoP's coming out. They know there's going to be pandas. It's going to be a kid's game. There'll be Pokemon. But they don't think about some of this other stuff. So I'm hoping to shed some light on all these things. So hell, we might as well just jump right into it, right? What's stopping us? This is America. I can do what I want. Now, before you even think about raiding, there's some things you need to do and need to understand. All right. Now, the first thing, obviously, should be pretty obvious at this point, is you need to get to level 90. Estimated about 30 hours. I don't know. That's completely based on playstyle. So don't worry about that because there's some things in place that are going to really help everyone out in terms of leveling. The first thing is, my guild personally, I'm giving everyone 2 weeks to get to 90. We're not going to start even raiding as a guild for 2 full weeks. This might sound like a bit of a hindrance, but as I said, there are some things implemented that are going to make this even more, even more forgiving. First thing that you need to do once you are 90, though, you need to worry about your gear. Okay, you need pre-raid best in slot. And it's a lot easier this time to get pre-raid best in slot than it ever has been. There's going to be 5-man heroics, which are going to drop pretty solid gear. Okay. There's going to be looking for raid at some point. We'll talk about that in a bit. That's going to drop gear. Obviously, you'll be able to do that and get experience with the raids, which will be very good. And then there's going to be crafted gear, which should be the same eye level as the first bit of raiding gear from Mogushan vaults. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then there's going to be Valor Gear. Okay, now Valor Gear has a bit of a note on it, as pretty much any of the gear from Valor that you buy needs some reputation. I talked about this in a previous video, but one way or the other, you're going to have to get reputations to Honored, Exalted. You might as well just go right to Exalted. All these reps are amazing. You can do dailies, you can do quests, and they're very fun and interactive. A lot better than they've been in the past, that's for sure. You won't have to pick one for your helmet champ, right? So those kind of things are done. In terms of gems and enchants, you'll need your best. Definitely going to be some gem slots in all this pre-raid gear. So put the best ones you got, best enchants. Shoulder enchants, it can be gotten from a scribe now. No more head enchants. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, another thing you're going to want to do if you're a serious raider, you're going to want to start thinking about the legendary reputation. Okay, this is a multifaceted chain, right? Meaning you're going to get part of it in this tier, and it's going to carry on to later tiers. So you'll build up the foundation. Nobody really knows how it works yet, but it's definitely going to start in this tier. There's going to be a gem. It's going to grant 500 of a stat that you pick, and you're going to be able to throw it in a weapon with a shot touch socket. We'll talk about that in a bit. And you'll need this reputation. Now, how it works is there's a quest chain in the Tavern of the Mist where the black market auction house supposedly is, or was. I don't even know if it's still there, but there's Rathion, if you remember him. He's the last black dragon who's not corrupted or whatever. He's got a turban, looking pretty good. So he is there. And what you'll want to do is you want to go talk to him. He's going to give you a chain. Apparently, you got to get honored with his rep. Now, how you do that is there's going to be mobs that he apparently hates. So you'll need to grind these mobs. This is something you could do entirely by yourself, which is why it's speculated that this whole quest chain is individual, but I don't think it actually is. And then once you're honored with him, you turn that part of the quest in, and you'll be able to get on to the next part where you'll collect items for him. Okay, so that's just a brief overview. We're not talking about in-depth stuff here, but you'll want to be on that chain. Everybody in the game can be on it, so there's absolutely no reason not to be on it. Go get on it. If you come to my raid without it, then you're just telling me you don't want the legendary, and I'm not even going to consider giving it to you if that's an option. Okay? Plain and simple. Next up, Charms of Good Fortune. Made a video on this in the past. Not going to belabor on it. There should be an annotation for it. But one way or the other, everybody needs these. You can get them, you get 3 a week, and you could expend them, you get extra gear. Why the hell would you even try to come to raid without those? You got to be some kind of lazy SOB to not come to raid looking to get 3 extra pieces of gear a week. You are, oh man, just get the fuck out. Okay, just go. All right, I've calmed down. Now, the next thing you'll need to do is realize there's been a lot of changes to the class. Already, if you're in 5.0, you've been playing WoW last week. That's great. That's a great start. But the level 90 and 87 abilities, well, they're going to change the classes. Think about some of these abilities. We got Symbiosis. We got Ascendance for Shamans. We got Banners for Warriors. Level 90 abilities for Hunters are huge. Stampede. All these things are massive, massive, massive abilities, okay? So they are going to change the metagame. Absolutely change the metagame entirely. The model's already changed for a lot of classes, especially tanks and healers, but it's going to change even worse. So you got to test. You have to test. So this is what I would do. If I was a serious raider, I would get the game the night it came out. I would play as long as I wanted to play straight. I would get to 90 as soon as I can. As soon as I'm 90, I'm doing every daily that's available for me. I got to get those reputations up. I got to pick up the legendary quest chain. All right, I got to start that too. I got to get honored with that. Once I've gotten a few reputations honored, in the meantime, I'd be looking for groups. I got friends in the guild who want to play. Fuck yeah, let's go do some 5-man heroics, man. I got the eye level required for that. Shouldn't be hard to get. You followed the previous video. And then you get in there, you get some 5-man gear. I'm going to get crafted mats. I'm going to get some Valor too. You get Valor from 5-mans, you get Valor from dailies, you get all that stuff. So there's a lot of options, okay? As soon as you got your best in slot, I'm starting to work on the Charms of Good Fortune. This is massive. Like I said, as soon as I can raid, I want to be able to get more gear. So as long as I do this once a week, I get Charms of Good Fortune. I'm testing out my abilities. I'm on the dummy, shooting arrows. Pew, 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 rah, rah. Bolt, casting bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, you know, shit like that. And everything is just happening. It's just succinct. Now I'm ready to raid. Let's talk about what you got to know for that. Okay, so you're raid ready? Are you? I hope so. If you're not, then why are you watching this part? No, you can't. You can watch this part. Don't worry. I'm just joking. Anyway, Mogushan Vaults. Let's talk about that. It's the first raid. Okay, this is how it's going to work. MoP comes out September 25th. 1 full week, there is no PvE content. No end game PvE content. So it's like Guild Wars 2 for a full week. Okay, there's no end game. Now, after that week, things start to heat up. Okay, Mogushan Vaults is going to come out the second week. All right, keep that in mind. The second week of MoP, the week after the 25th. So that's October 2nd. They're looking for raid for Mogushan Vaults. It's going to come out the third week, the week after that. So October 9th. Okay. Now this raid is the entry level raid. It drops the lowest eye level of all raids. Okay, so theoretically it's supposed to be easier. You can do this. You can do it on heroic after you kill the boss. It's going to drop gear, all kinds of good stuff. This is going to be the best raid that will be available for a while. Okay, you'll be able to do heroic. You'll be able to do all kinds of stuff in this time. Looking for raid after that week. Lowest eye level gear though. Then October 30th, which is week 6. So if you remember math from when you were, 2 years ago when you learned math, week 2 was Mogushan. 4 weeks later, I'm holding up 4 fingers. That's Heart of Fear. 4 weeks later. Okay, so you have 4 weeks for Mogushan Vaults. And then the week after that, week 7, okay, which is November 6th or something like that, would be looking for raid for Heart of Fear. And that's better eye level than Mogushan. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll recap at the end. Then also Terrace at the end of the spring. That's the third raid. Okay, now this raid is supposed to be the hardest of the 3. Drops the ones that have the shot touch sockets. Okay, the weapons in there. Same week it comes out as Heart of Fear. So that's the 6th week, October 30th. Week 6 of MoP, 4 weeks after Mogushan. But you need to be able to complete the first 2 before you can complete this one. I'm assuming that going for normal and heroic as well. So we need to complete all of heroic, vaults, and Heart of Fear to be able to do heroic Terrace at the end of the spring. I'm not positive about that, but if that's the case, not a lot of people are going to see heroic Terrace at the end of the spring. One way or the other, you got to get your shot touched weapon out of there. Okay, so looking for raid comes out the week after that as well. Now, by this point, this is 8 weeks in, pretty much. Okay, by this point, 8 weeks in, I'm assuming we'll have a good portion of the legendary pieces out to somebody by now. This is a long-term progression. Okay, absolutely, you have to be in it for the long haul. So if you're looking to raid, you can't expect to blow through all this content in 1 week. This is not going to happen. It's not even possible. You can't even raid the first week, and you can't even do 66% of the content until the 6th week. You know what I mean? So things to keep in mind. Looking for raid, massive, massive, massive tool. I don't know about you, but any serious raider has never actually needed this. Okay, because if you did, you were already pre-best in slot, or I mean full heroic best in slot in Firelands before Dragon Soul came out. So you didn't need looking for raid, except for tier maybe. But this is huge. This is massive. Having this is such a useful tool for not only gearing up, but also testing out people and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is, you could expect this. Everybody should expect this. The first 4 weeks are going to be like relaxed trial week. We're going to be progressing in Mogustown Vaults. We're going to, learn all the fights in there. We're going to do looking for raid. And this is going to be the 2 or 3 weeks where I spend getting people like trialed, basically. You know what I mean? I'm going to be rotating as many people in as possible to see who does the best, who could really hold up to these mechanics. Because Vaults is awesome, but the next 2 raids, man, they are intense. Okay, so we're going to need our best players. I assume that will go for any guild. So you could expect that if you're a raider. I would expect to get to level 90, as I said. Make sure the thing from the previous half of the video, you're 100% clear on that. And now you're 100% clear on this. So that's that. You're ready. You're ready to go. Hope this video was useful. I mean, if not, I don't know what to tell you. You watched the wrong video. You must have. You really must have, which is sad. Really sad. Man, what a world we live in.